Hello, everyone. Hopefully you are able to hear us. My name is Brian Childs. I am our Academic Programs Coordinator here with International Programs Office. We're glad you can join us for our webinar today as we discuss basically your next steps of how to arrive and prepare and get ready to come to CSUMB Bay. We're glad you can join us for our webinar today as we discuss. One second, looks like we're having some technical difficulties.
Sorry, I got it.
Okay, excellent. Casey, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Casey Scolavino. I'm the Coordinator of International Student Services, and we're very excited that you're going to be joining us for Fall 2016. And we're just going to get started in a few minutes on the next steps presentation. So if you have any questions, we'll be stopping throughout the presentation to answer some questions, and there'll also be some time at the end. So feel free to ask us questions as we go.
My name is Louis, and I work for the Academic Advising Center at Cal State Monterey, and I'll be kind of moderating, I guess, today. Speaking of which, a couple housekeeping announcements I want to make for anyone viewing is there's two ways you could be watching this stream. You could be viewing it on YouTube, and if you are viewing it on YouTube, there should be a live chat option that you can join. If you look in the show notes right below the YouTube box, it should say join our live chat, and there's a link. If you click on that link, you can watch the same stream on Google+, and there's a QA feature where you can ask questions. We'll answer those questions as they come in real time, and we want to encourage you to ask any questions that come up. Even if it's a little bit off topic, we want you to take advantage of this time. You also might directly be watching this on Google Plus to begin with, or Google Hangouts as it's called, and that's fine too. You can join the live chat. If you have any trouble doing that, I'll be monitoring the YouTube page. You can always just leave a comment with your question on there too, and we'll answer them, like I said, as we come in.
Excellent. So we'll go ahead and get started here. So again, thank you everyone for coming. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you can see the presentation we have, and we will go from there. Let's see here. And Louis, is that showing up for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Okay. So again, welcome to our, welcome to our next steps for accepted international students for California State University, Monterey Bay. This is for our fall 2016 presentation. So thanks for everyone for joining us today. I'm glad that you are going to be joining CSUMB this fall. And with us today, as we already introduced ourselves at the very beginning, if you weren't here, my name is Brian Childs. I am our Academic Programs Coordinator in the office in the International Student Services. And then we also have Casey Scolavino, who is our Coordinator of International Student Services here as well. So the first thing we want to cover are just some important dates for you to know. July 23rd, this is the first day, if you're coming here as an F1 or a J1 international student, July 23rd is the first day that you are allowed to enter on your F or J visa, which is 30 days before the program starts. So just know that if you wanted to come and have a vacation or see the country a little bit beforehand, don't come before July 23rd. But then August 15th is when our move-in process starts for our students. So if you come on July 23rd, don't come to campus yet. You're not going to be able to get housing. August 15th is our move-in for our international exchange and our semester at students. And then 16th is for all of our degree-seeking students, our NSC, and our ALCP students. So those are the dates. Plan for those as your actual arrival to campus for those coming in this fall. And then that is a few days before the semester begins, because on August 17th through the 19th is our mandatory orientation for all of our NSC and international students. We'll be having our mandatory orientation. You'll get to meet some of your classmates. You'll get to have a campus tour, get to know the different facilities, get to meet a variety of people across campus that you'll be working with, and also learning all about the regulations and everything you need to know about staying in your maintaining your status and everything. So it's gonna be a great time. We're gonna have some fun during it. It's gonna be some great information. So make sure you're here for those dates. It is mandatory. It is required for everyone coming in. Then you get a weekend of some free time. There will be lots of different events going on that weekend. But then August 22nd is when it all begins. August 22nd is the first day of classes. So that's when you'll actually be in classes. There is a fall break in November 21st to the 25th. And then the last day of actual classes is December 9th. The final week of class here is actually exams. So December 12th through 16th is what we call exam week or assessment week. And then 16th is when the move out is of anybody living on campus. You need to start moving out on December 16th. So that is our semester and some important dates to keep in mind. We'll be talking about some of those again throughout the presentation here.
I can jump in and just say if anyone's joining us late, we encourage you to ask questions, interact with Brian and Casey. If you're watching on YouTube, you can join our live chat. There's a link in the show notes right below the YouTube box. Also, if you have any trouble viewing it that way, you can always just leave a comment on the YouTube video channel directly, and I'll be monitoring those as we go and ask them as they come up.
Excellent. Thank you, Louis. So just a quick few important reminders. For our international students, there are some students that are U.S. citizens, may have a passport, but if you're an international student coming to us, just remember, if you haven't already, please start the visa process already. I know many of you have already done that. Many of you already have your visas. Excuse me. But for those of you who haven't, please start right away. You can check the current visa appointment times on the website, the travelstate.gov website. CVIS fee, so just keeping in mind that you will, in order to get your visa, in order to process everything, you do need to pay the CVIS fee. You pay it online at fmjfee.com, and you will be able to go ahead and do that. So if you haven't yet paid your CVIS fee, please make sure you do that and get going from there. And then you'll need to, if you haven't already done so, you'll need to schedule an interview at your local U.S. consulate. You can find usembassy.gov is where you find the list of all the consulates of where you can do that. You're going to take your I-20 or your DS 2019 if you're a J1 student, all of your other documents, your passport, everything else you've got, take it to your visa interview. If you're a Canadian citizen, you need your I-20 or your DS 2019, but you don't need to actually obtain an F1 or a J1 visa. You can come in without the visa. But you do still need your immigration document, the I-20. So with that being said, just once you actually have your visa and you got everything ready, how do you actually enter the United States? So once your visa is approved, that's when you can start, really the process of arriving and get everything secured and get ready to come. As I said at the very beginning, you can enter the United States up to 30 days prior to the start of classes. So July 23rd is the first day you can enter the U.S. on your F or J visa. When you actually get to once your plane lands in the U.S., wherever you'll go through U.S. Customs, you'll present your passport and your visa and your I-20 or DS 2019. You present those to the border official. It's great to also have your financial documents at that point, showing that you can, afford your stay here. Anything that shows you can really afford your stay in the U.S. and your admission letter. Just the more documents you have really there, the better. It's going to make it very clear. They may not ask to see those, but if they have any questions, it's great to have those available. So I'd encourage you to keep all that stuff in your carry-on with you. So they're going to review your documents. They're going to stamp your passport, give you an admission date and all that stuff right on your passport, and then they're going to give you all your documents back, and you'll be ready to enter the United States. One thing I do want to point out is what's called duration of status. If everyone comes in with all the proper documents, at the bottom of your visa stamp, when the officer writes it in, he'll write a little notation that says D/S, which stands for duration of status, which means as long as you're maintaining your status here, you're allowed to stay in the United States. If he writes in or he or she writes in a specific date, that means you are probably missing some sort of documentation and that you're only allowed to stay in the United States for those certain days. If they write in a date on your passport on that stamp, please come see us as soon as you can, because we will work with you to get that all corrected. So most of you, that's not going to be an issue. But if he does not write DS, if they write a specific date at the bottom of your visa stamp, please come see us right away. Otherwise, you'll be good to go.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to talk for a minute about applying for housing. I know most of you should have already done your housing application, but for those of you who didn't, something to go ahead and get started on right away. The International Programs Office here reserves campus housing for all of our international students, ALCP, exchange, semester at, and NSC as well, and first semester degree-seeking students. The housing office is going to try their best to place you according to the housing preference that you note in your housing application. We can't guarantee that space, but we're going to do our best to get you into your preferred housing accommodation. If you decide to live off campus, unless you're a degree-seeking freshman, you can live off campus, but we're not going to be able to provide you assistance with finding housing. As far as actually applying for housing, you need to do that through your My Housing link on your dashboard. And this will take you to the housing homepage where you can go to applications and then international student application. And if you don't see this application, please send us an email right away and we'll get it opened up for you. National Student Exchange students should also select the international housing application.
This is a good time to ask a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So a question in our live chat. Is it okay if the financial documents that are shown when entering the U.S. are 4 weeks old?
4 weeks old?
4 weeks.
Yes.
Yes, that'll be just fine.
Awesome. And then one more follow-up. Is it possible to change the housing preference that we stated in our application?
You can change your housing application preference by sending me an email, kscolavino@csumb.edu, or you can send it right to the international email, international@csumb.edu. Let us know, and we'll forward your request on to the housing office and let them know that you want to change which housing preference you had selected. So that's not a problem.
Great. Good questions. Keep them coming, everybody. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you. And we're going to go ahead and dive back in here. And just, sorry, 1 second. If I hit the right buttons. Sorry, everyone. Okay.
There we go. Alrighty, so if you have a roommate request, you're going to make this request through the My Housing dashboard as well. This isn't something that the International Programs Office handles, so just make sure if you have a roommate request, do it through your My Housing dashboard, and make sure that both you and the person that you want to live with have already completed your applications. Alrighty. So your housing assignments, you should start being assigned between now and August 1st. You'll get a notification from housing that you've been assigned, and they'll give you your address of where you're living. You'll also need to pay your housing security deposit. It's $250, and the charge might not appear on your account right away, but you can go ahead and pay it through Flywire at any time. And I'll talk about Flywire and payment a little bit more later in this presentation. This may be fully or partially refunded based on how much cleaning needs to happen in your apartment or if there's any damages at the end of the semester.
Okay, so dining options. There are several different dining venues across campus, and there's several different options for meal plans. Regarding if you want to have a full meal plan to eat every single meal on campus every single day, or if you want to have a little lighter plan because you want to cook sometimes or go out, whatever, there are different options for you. For some on-campus residences, meal plans are required. Other places are equipped with kitchens or kitchenettes, so you're not required to have a meal plan at that point. Whether you live on campus or off campus, there are a variety of meal plans that are available to meet your needs. And you can go to the dining website in order to look at all the different options. And to let you know which residences require meal plans. So most of them do, because they don't have kitchens included in them. However, if you are in North Quad Strawberry Apartments, Promontory, or East Campus, then a meal plan is not required. However, you can still have one if you live in these places and you want to have some sort of meal plan so you can conveniently eat on campus. Then you can go ahead and do so. But I also want to clarify, if you don't have a meal plan but you want to grab a meal on campus, you can always do that. They accept cash, card, everything else as well. So you got lots of different options depending on what you want to do. And csumb.edu/dining is the website that has all of the dining information. We also want to let you know, if you are a student coming to us and you have any sort of disability or any sort of condition or anything that requires some additional accommodation for you, whether that is a classroom accommodation or some housing accommodation or just some sort of accessibility issue, please let our Student Disability Resource Office know immediately. Really, the sooner the better, because we want to work with you as best as we can, and we will work with you. We will get the proper accommodation that you require, but sometimes it does take some time to get everything in order, to find the appropriate thing. So if you need a note taker in class because of any sort of accommodation need, or if you need any sort of accessible room or anything, just let us know and we can make those appropriate arrangements. So you can email the Student Disability Resource Center, or you can visit the website csumb.edu/SDR. And please, it's not too early to go ahead and reach out to their office and start talking to them. Everything is confidential, private with them. They'll work everything out with you, but it's never too early to start working with them.
Alrighty, so I'm going to talk about health insurance. Federal and state law requires that international students maintain adequate health insurance while attending CSUMB. And this is really important because health insurance can be very, very expensive in the United States, and hospitalization can cost thousands of dollars. So we've purchased you all a good health insurance policy that can give you access to really great medical facilities that are both on and off campus. You'll be automatically enrolled. As soon as you applied, we went ahead and got you enrolled. And this starts on August 1st and goes through December 31st for all students who are coming in the fall. And this cost will just be billed to your account. So it'll just show up as a charge in your CMS account that you'll pay for, just like all of your other fees.
Can I ask a couple questions from our chat?
Absolutely, go for it.
Just want to thank people for asking questions, and if you have your own as they come up, you can leave a comment directly on our YouTube page, and you can also click on the live chat link, which is in the comment section of the YouTube, and either one will work. So 2 questions we have. We're going a little bit back in time in the presentation, but one, is it possible to buy a meal plan after the semester is already started?
Absolutely. You can purchase a meal plan at any time during the semester. If you're in housing that has a required meal plan, it's automatically assigned to you once you're assigned to housing. But if you're in a housing accommodation that doesn't have a required meal plan, you can really purchase it at any time and add it to your account.
Beautiful. I haven't heard back about my housing application. I think I submitted it on May 7th. Should I have heard back already? I guess you kind of already answered this earlier.
Yeah, so they started assigning Wednesday of last week, and they are, working on that. So they need to look at everyone's roommate requests, see how many spaces they have. So it can take a little bit of time. They're hoping to have everyone assigned by August 1st. So you should be hearing about it in the next couple of weeks. If you don't hear about it by August 1st, please just send us an email and we'll reach out to them to see what's going on with your application. But if you're worried that you submitted your application incorrectly or didn't fully submit it, go ahead and send us an email right away, and we'll just make sure that they at least have your housing application on file.
Great. That's all the ones for now.
Okay, excellent. Let me go ahead and get back into our presentation here. Sorry, one moment. Why does it always? Okay, so, and health insurance, there we go.
Perfect. So if you are arriving before August 1st or leaving after December 31st, you'll need to purchase some supplemental travel insurance. You can do this on your own if you'd like, or you can come into the office and I can show you how to extend your coverage with the same plan that we've already purchased for you. It is at your own cost, but we don't mind helping you out with getting that all set up. For your insurance plan that you have right now, you're enrolled through Trawick International under the Collegiate Care Gold Plan. And if you go to our website or the Trawick International website, you can take a look at your coverage brochure to see all of the information about what's covered, what the costs are, and how to file a claim.
And one last thing to add there as well, for those who are staying for additional semesters other than just the fall, your insurance, if you're enrolled in classes, your insurance will carry over. You'll get a new insurance policy every semester. So when we talk about buying a supplemental, that's only for those entering before the effective date or staying beyond the date of your initial I-20 of when you're going to be here, basically.
Perfect. So you should be able to print your health insurance card after August 1st. You can view it online. We have some instructions on our website, and they're detailed right here. We really strongly recommend that you print your insurance card and bring it with you in your carry-on luggage, just in case anything happened to happen while you're in transit between your home country and here. You will be covered as long as it's after August 1st. And if you're staying for more than one semester, you'll have to download and print a new card. But we'll send you reminders throughout the semester for items like that.
Okay.
Alrighty. And for American students, we're not automatically enrolling you in health insurance because due to other federal regulations, you probably should have been covered already in some other way. And I would appreciate if you could send me a copy of it via email, just so I have it on file. If anything happened to you, it'd be nice to have that insurance policy that you're enrolled in. But you are required to be fully covered while you're studying here at CSUMB.
Excellent.
And last little note about health, immunizations. If you are going to be enrolled for longer than one semester, you'll be required to provide proof of immunization to the campus health center. If you want to go and look at all the different items that need to be covered, you can do that at csumb.edu/health/immunization. This will give you a list of different ways that you can provide evidence of your immunizations. And just a reminder that if you're only here for one semester, you do not need to provide this proof.
Excellent. Thank you, Casey. We're going to go ahead and transition for the next few moments and talk about courses. I think this is a topic that a lot of you are curious about at this point because we are registering students and students are registering themselves right now. Selecting your courses sort of depends on what type of student you are while you're going to be here. So if you are here for your degree, if you're a degree-seeking student, you're actually going to be at CSU Monterey Bay pursuing your entire degree. You will work with your academic advisor to really help select your classes, and then you'll register yourself on your own. The advising office with Louie and everyone else actually had a whole slew of different webinars earlier that are already recorded to help you assist you in the actual registration process of how to go in and use your the whole process for selecting your classes. So please view those, and you can go to the advising website, csumb.edu/advising, and you will be able to get further instructions of how to meet with an advisor. You can actually schedule like a Google Hangout with an advisor to meet with them online, or you can, there's phone calls and lots of other ways to meet with them. So that's for degree-seeking students. If you are here if you're coming to us through the American Language and Culture Program, the ALCP, you don't need to worry at all about your classes. You'll be automatically enrolled based upon your placement test. So if you're coming in through our language program, don't worry, you'll be enrolled once you arrive. If you are, though, an exchange student, a semester at student, or a national student exchange student, we will assist you enrolling your classes once you submit the course enrollment form. You all should have been emailed this at one point. You can also get it on our website. If you've not yet submitted the course enrollment requestment form, please do so as soon as possible. We are working with students. We're working with academic departments every day to get students in classes. Many of you are already enrolled. Many of you are not yet enrolled. Many of you are partially enrolled. Everyone's at different stages depending on the department I'm working on. Some I was able to get in classes right away depending on which department. Other departments wanted me to wait a little bit longer because they needed to sort some things out. So this is an ongoing process. Once everyone is fully enrolled, our office will email you, but you can always log online to your dashboard at csumb.edu. You can log online and you can see your schedule. You can see if you're already enrolled in classes or not. But if you still need to request courses, go to CSUMB/schedule. You can see your available classes that are available to choose. Classes are filling up, so please go ahead and submit that form right away. When you click on a class, it will give you a course description, and at the end of the course description, it will list if it has any prerequisites. These are courses that may be required for students who have taken previously. For instance, an advanced biology class may require an intro to biology class. So if you don't think you've got that prerequisite or the equivalent of that, talk to me in advance. You can email me, let me know. But if you have that prerequisite, then you can go ahead and request that course. So make sure to check out those prerequisites when you're requesting your courses. And then submit it to our international email. It's international@csumb.edu. It's the basic international email. And then we will work on getting you in classes right away.
Speaking of which.
Yes.
Student has a question. I've already enrolled for my courses. However, they do not show up on my dashboard in the section class schedule. Does it take some time until they show up, or do I need to still do anything?
Louis, you might actually be able to better answer that. But if a student's already enrolled, it should be showing up in their dashboard, if I'm not mistaken. It should show up right away. So you might want to email me, and I can take a look further into it. bchilds@csumb.edu or international@csumb.edu, and we can take a look at your registration and make sure that everything is set up accordingly. But yeah, if you've already enrolled, if you believe you've already enrolled but it's not showing up, then there might be something that didn't quite get submitted properly, and we can take a look into that more.
And this might be the same student, but where can I see if I'm already enrolled?
So if you log in, if you go to csumb.edu, you'll see a login button at the top. And once you log in, you can click on what's called your dashboard or CMS, and it'll take you to your student center. And from there, you should be able to see your class schedule if you're already enrolled.
Also, just a note, if you're you need to check to make sure that you're looking in CMS in your student center and not in iLearn. Sometimes students go to iLearn to look for their schedule, and it's not always updated right away there. So make sure you're going into CMS Student Center from your dashboard.
Boom.
Excellent. Well, thank you for the questions. Keep them coming.
Oh, I have one more about health insurance. We moved on before we could get it. Do I have to buy health insurance even though I already have one?
If you are an international student coming on an F1 visa to CSUMB, you are automatically enrolled in CSUMB health insurance, and you will need to purchase it. We don't give waivers for our F1 students.
And this is for a variety of reasons. The insurance that we have really covers lots of different things: expatriation, the medical assistance, lots of things that are covered here that are different, that your insurance, it may not be prepared for you to be an international student here. So there's lots of things that it covers, and it's really the best insurance for you to have while you're here.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. So the next part is just talking about, this part is only for our degree-seeking students. So if you're here as an exchange student, you don't need to worry about this slide. But if you're here as a degree-seeking student, you will need to take, you may need to take our placement test. We have EPT, the English placement test, and the ELM, the elementary level math. These are both placement tests in their respective categories. You should have been notified if you need to take these or not. You can log in again to your dashboard, and it'll say in there if you need to take them or not. And if you have already taken them, then great. Your scores will be available. If you don't already have your scores will be available in the next few weeks. If you've not yet taken it, you'll take it at orientation. So during our orientation on August 17th to 19th, you'll take it on one of those days. And then your math results will be available before the semester begins. Your your English results will be available sometime during the semester, so you'll enroll in an English class in your spring semester. So if you're unsure about the ELM EPT, you can email our International Admissions Office, and you can speak with one of their representatives. But you can log in again to your dashboard, and it will say in your student center whether you need to take the EPT or ELM. Again, this is only for degree-seeking students. But if you've not yet taken it, you'll take it at orientation. If you've already taken it, your score should be available fairly soon. So just some general advice for choosing classes. Some of you who, if you weren't able to watch some of the earlier webinars from the advising office, or if you're just unsure about it, just since every university across the world is a little bit different, when students are here, you're going to take between 12 and 16 units for the most part. That's what most students take, which is about 3 to 5 courses. So sort of plan on that being the case. And then also undergraduate F and J1 students are required to register for a minimum of 12 units. Graduate students need to be in a minimum of 8 units. That is to maintain your status as an international student. And so please keep that in mind if you need to be in at least 12 units if you're here as an undergraduate student. For degree-seeking students, your tuition will vary by the number of units you take. You can actually go to the cost calculator, csumb.edu/cost, for an accurate tuition total. All other students, you're charged a flat tuition fee, or it's an exchange student, whatever. It all just depends on then if it's 12 to 17 units, it's all the same. And one note on class level, as you're trying to still select some of your classes, if you're coming in, basically any class number that's numbered 100 to 299 is what we consider lower division. This is really designed for first and second year university students, so we call freshmen and sophomores. These are generally introductory in nature, have fewer prerequisites. Our 300 to 400 courses are what we call upper division. So these are for our third and fourth year, or juniors and seniors. And then the 500 and above numbers are our graduate level courses. These are generally restricted from many of our exchange students and are generally just for students admitted to that graduate degree program. So as you're selecting courses, think about what level am I in. You know, if you're a degree student, you're coming here for your first ever classes, and you're probably going to take in the courses in the 100 to 200 range. If you're an exchange student, maybe you're here, or if you're a transfer student, you've already been in a couple of years of classes, then maybe you can jump into those some of those upper division classes.
Also, I can give a plug for my team. If you click on our YouTube channel, which you're watching this on, the CSUMB video, we have a 7-video playlist on registering for classes, both classes to pick and also kind of the mechanics of how you actually use CMS. And then we have 13 live streams that have already taken place, but you can go and watch the replays. So we have a lot of support to help you guys pick classes, and girls. Excellent.
Thank you, Louis. My last note before I hand it back over to Casey is our enrollment confirmation fee. So again, this is one piece, again, is just for a degree seeker. So if you're here for your full degree, you do need to pay, after you've been admitted, you need to pay a $100 enrollment confirmation fee. This is required for students who are here for undergraduate or a degree program. It's not required for our visiting students, exchange, semester at, whatever. But for the degree students, you do need to pay that. So if you've not yet paid that, you need to pay that before you can register for your classes. This fee can be paid through Flywire, which we will discuss right now.
Alrighty. So we're going to talk about making payments. So first and foremost, if you want to go look and see what charges are due, you will need to go to your dashboard and click on CMS, which is the second option on the upper left-hand corner of your navigation bar once you log in. And you'll go to your student center from there. You'll need to just look in the finance section of your student center and click on other financial. Again, this will be recorded, so you can go back and look at these directions, and they're also on our website. Once you get in here, you can look at charges due, and it'll show you all of the items that you'll need to pay for. Some of these fees haven't been uploaded yet. If you're not registered for courses, then they will not be showing until you actually register for courses. And then also your housing charge won't appear until you've been actually assigned housing. In here, there is a make a payment option. You can choose to pay through this, but you'll be charged a 3% credit card fee. The way that we suggest international students make payments online is through Flywire. And we have a link specially made for CSUMB students. It's csumb.flywire.com. If you go in here, you can do a wire transfer directly from your bank. You can use an international credit card. You can pay in your home currency. It's a really great option, and there are no fees for using it. It's also easy to get refunded through Flywire at the end of the semester if you have any extra money on your account instead of getting a US check at the end of the semester. So this is a really good option for international students. If you would like to pay in person, you can do so on campus after arrival. They accept cash and checks only, so you can't pay with a credit card in person. This will need to be done online.
Excellent. So, and again, just as a quick recap, you can log on to your dashboard, check out your finances, see how much you do owe, and then you can log on to Flywire and pay it directly from there. And that really is the best way. If you're able to use Flywire, that is the best way to do so.
Okay, so talk a little bit about planning your arrival. Once you get all of these other things sorted out, you'll be wanting to make your travel arrangements pretty soon. Just for those of you who are not well traveled, just make sure that when you're looking at flights, compare all your options in terms of price, how long you want to sit at airports during layovers, and making sure that you have enough time between flights to catch your connecting flights if you have a delay. Make sure that you have a backup plan in case you miss your shuttles. We have an Airbus to CSUMB that I'll be talking about in a minute. And if you want to arrive early, make sure that you are preparing for that and your transportation around as well. So just a reminder that the move-in days are August 15th and 16th for fall 2016. So make sure that you're planning your arrival around that time. Okay. So we recommend that you bring about $200 to $500 in cash for your first week, just in case you have any troubles and you need to buy meals, you need to get a taxi or bus fare. Just make sure that you carry it safely. And your meal plans will not start if you purchased a meal plan until August 19th. So it's important to just bring some money for the first week to be able to pay for your meals. If you're unable to get US currency prior to your arrival, you can exchange your own country's money at the airport. If you have a debit card, you can also use ATM machines to withdraw. Prior to leaving, make sure you let your bank know that you're going to be traveling so that they don't shut your bank account down. And make sure that you'll have access to your funds using your bank card, and make sure that your withdrawal limits are high enough to accommodate your needs here. We're going to be having opportunities at orientation for you to open up a US bank account, and this is a really good option for all students, but we'll talk about that more at orientation. Okay, so the important documents that you need to bring with you, we're listed out here and they're also online. You'll need to bring your Form I-20 or DS 2019 with you, your valid passport, valid for at least 6 months beyond the date of your admission, your valid visa, which should be in your passport. It's important to also have a copy of your CVIS fee receipt. So after you pay your CVIS fee, make sure to print out the receipt, keep a copy with you when you are traveling to the US. And I'd also just suggest writing down our university's address and then our phone numbers. We have an office phone number that's available to you between 8 and 5. And then we have an emergency phone number during orientation that will be available after hours if you need to call us for any reasons after 5 o'clock. You should also bring your health insurance card just in case you need it on the way here. And your acceptance packet is a really useful thing to bring just so you have your campus map and all of the other important items. And you'll also want to bring your proof of immunization with you if you're staying for 2 semesters so that you can take that to the campus health center during your first week of classes. And if you have any medication or prescriptions, please make sure to bring enough for your stay, or if you're going to be staying here for a longer duration of time, like a year, or if you're staying for your full degree, just make sure you're bringing your prescription with you. We'll also, just a note, we'll start checking the emergency phone on on August 15th. So that'll be available to you August 15th through the 19th in the evenings if anything is to happen. And just a couple of notes, because I know that students always have questions about their linens and towels, their household items. When you arrive, you'll have the chance to purchase almost everything you need for your room at our local retail stores. But if you'd like to purchase it ahead of time and have it shipped here, you can use the two programs, Residence Hall Linens Program or Dorm in a Box. And you can have these items shipped to our office ahead of time. And if you are planning on shipping any packages ahead of time, please make sure to put your name and then attention International Programs Office. So it's like you're shipping it to yourself, but fill out the bottom part with our address so that we know whose package it is. And if your luggage does get lost while you're at the airport, it's also important to have this address on you so that you can let them know to ship it to us.
If I can jump in here real quick and just remind people that you can ask questions to either Brian or Casey by accessing our live chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link in the show notes that says join our live chat, and you can watch this on Google Hangouts. We have a live QA, and there's some students that have already been using it. If you have any trouble with that, because it does ask for a Google Plus account, you can just leave a comment directly on the YouTube page, and I'll be monitoring that as well. We'll ask questions as they come up. If they're a little bit off topic, that's totally fine. We want to make sure you get all your questions answered. And it looks like we do not have any new questions right now, so you guys can just keep plowing through.
Awesome. Thank you, Louis.
All right. So just a reminder again, August 15th and 16th are the move-in days. If you arrive before these days, you'll need to make your own accommodations at a hotel, and then we will get you checked in the next day. So just a reminder, if you get here too early, you'll need to get a hotel, and we will help you move in on August 15th or 16th. There are 3 recommended airports: Monterey Regional Airport, which is about 20-minute taxi ride to campus; the San Jose International Airport, which is about an hour from CSUMB; and the San Francisco International Airport, which is about 2 hours from CSUMB. But both San Jose and San Francisco have a shuttle that drops you off directly on campus that I will talk about in just a moment. We do not recommend flying into Oakland International Airport because it is very difficult to get to Monterey from there. Okay, so we have contracted with the Monterey Airbus. It takes students directly from San Francisco and San Jose International Airports and drops you off at the Student Center on campus. We suggest that you go ahead and book your Airbus ticket about 1 to 2 hours after your arrival time. That'll give you enough time to deplane, go through U.S. Customs and Border Control, collect your baggage, and walk to the Airbus pickup location. So if you are arriving at 6:30, for example, make sure that you don't book the 6:45 bus. Make sure you sign up for the next bus, which would be 8:15, to give yourself plenty of time to get to it. Make sure that when you're on their Airbus, you let them know that you need to be dropped off at CSUMB, and they will drop you off here. Okay, so go ahead and book your Airbus ticket right after booking your flight so that you can ensure that you get a good spot for the bus. There's going to be CSUMB staff at SFO and at the International Meeting Point during designated times. So for most of the day, there will be someone there from CSUMB staff to help you get to the Airbus if you need any help with finding that, or if you have any lost luggage that you need help with. If you arrive to campus later than 7 p.m., you are required to get your own housing accommodations for the night. There's plenty of hotels that are nearby campus, and we have a bunch of taxi services or Uber in the area that you can use to get to a hotel or get back to campus. This information is also in your Next Steps newsletter if you want to just bring that with you so that you have these numbers. Yeah.
Excellent. So as we begin to wrap up here, just a note on orientation. This is your first chance to really experience everything CSUMB has to offer. This is required. It is mandatory for all of our international NSC students that are coming in. So again, plan, move-in starts on August 15th and 16th, so you should move in then. But by bare minimum, you need to be here and ready to go on the 17th. We will start orientation on the morning of August 17th. So please make sure you are here by then. You should have all received an invitation to register for our international student orientation and the housing move-in, along with additional arrival information. It is really important. It's extremely important to complete the registration before the given deadline in order to reserve your space. A quick note about this: some of you were also recently emailed about an online orientation the university houses. That's not really designed for international students. It's certainly not our visiting students, so you don't necessarily need to do that online one. The email from us came from an Eventbrite or it came from the international office email. So please make sure you're registering for the international student orientation and make sure that we got everything squared away for you. So if you have any questions about the international orientation or any orientation in general, please email us at international@csumb.edu and we can make sure that everything gets squared away for you. So that being said, we want to go ahead and wrap up. Please, if you are on any sort of our social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, make sure to follow us. There are our Facebook /CSUMB International, CSUMB IP for Twitter, and CSUMB International for Instagram. It's a great way to stay in touch with us. Make sure you have all the most recent information and you've got everything in order. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up here. And I want to say that most everything we discussed today, you should have also received much of this information in written form via our next steps letter. This would have been sent to you along with your I-20 or DS 2019. So please make sure you're checking this out. If you don't have this for any reason, email us. We'll send you a PDF copy of it and make sure you have all of this. But this is great to have with you. It's got a lot of those phone numbers and a lot of the other information in here as well. So please make sure you're referring back to this as you go along. And if anything's not clear, let us know. But pretty much everything we discussed today is in here as well.
You can also find it on our website on CSUMB/international. And then I have been admitted students. It'll be there with all of the information laid out in website format and then also in the PDF format.
Okay, looks like we don't have any last minute questions coming in, but if you do have some, get on those keyboards. We mentioned this before, but csumb.edu/advising. We have a really prolific YouTube channel. We've been putting out lots and lots of videos to help students register, and you can always just call our office too if that's easier for you. We do phone appointments. We do appointments on Google Hangouts if you're overseas as well. Okay, it looks like that's it. I'm going to stop the broadcast, and if any of the viewers want to go back and watch this at a later time, it's going to be saved right here at the same link that you accessed it this morning.
Very good. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Stick around, and I will stop the broadcast.